Thank you. So what I will do right now is فينا اطبع عليها هيدي اذا بدي مش هيك في اطبع مش هيك على الكيبورد دغري اذا بدنا نصلح اوكي so okay connected okay perfect so what we did since Wednesday is we took the ideas that we discussed during our meeting, Mr. Katada. Thank you. We took the ideas that we suggested last Wednesday, and we tried to organize them under 5 main themes that I think would be a good thing for us to maybe adopt, think about, discuss. If you feel they need some minor adjustments, we can do these adjustments immediately while we are talking. Since this is our last meeting, I think it would be a good idea to have some level of agreement towards these. So the first one is, and I believe, what the way we did this is that we took all these thoughts that were put and we tried to put a general statement that actually includes them, so it looks like it's a so it is a recommendation or a suggestion for us to adopt, basically. So the first one is continue and further enhance the activities and initiatives developed during the lifetime of the project. And I think we've discussed a lot about, you know, for example, the Jordanian University continuing with their courses. I think Siena also have used it, Lebanese University have used it, Petra University have used it. So if we think that, you know, or some training workshops and so forth, I think it would be a good idea, you know, the same thing for us, we've adopted it in 2 courses that we can actually continue doing. If we can actually, at least, you know, that's a minimal thing we can commit to, I think that would be a good idea. The second one is follow up and implement proposed list of future activities by partner institutions. And I believe a lot of ideas of workshops, conferences, or planned activities, for example, I think our partners from Camerino discussed something about a side event in their landscape, I think, ecology, or the International Conference of Landscape Ecology Society for the Balkan area. So I think, I think it's so important for us. It's easy to suggest ideas. It's very easy, and we can promise a million things from now till the next 5 years, but, you know, we don't. I think we need to keep the expectation at a very acceptable level. I think the idea of Zweil City University suggested the idea of a short video. I think that's a great idea. I think the idea of going on an online course with, where's Katada? Disappeared. He got upset probably. I'm just joking. But, you know, they have developed the material, and I think Dr. Farid was talking about developing a course based on that. Maybe the idea of sharing, and that allows us also to continue some level of continuity across the partners. I think we all know it is not easy to maintain that, and we're all very busy. But I'm trying to keep the expectations at a, you know, acceptable, relevant level where we can continue the idea. Then number 3 is, I think one of our big assets is the idea of the website. You know, I think now I really truly believe the website is now like a functional thing that we can plug in and put in things into it. And I think we really need to take advantage of that. Every little activity, every piece of newspaper, something that happens, we should just put it there, send it to Federica, and then actually try and put it there. Even, you know, repeating the course that we took last year, even doing it again this year without changing anything, this should be also documented as part of what we are trying to do. So I think we really need to take advantage of this WebGIS or our open source website. And I don't want to call it only GIS, but open, you know, educational resource, open educational resource. I think that's an important tool that we have that continue Fortunately, we have 3 years to commit to doing it, and I think it'll be extremely important to actually continue with that, because I think, like Dr. Arif Soufi yesterday, the local Erasmus office, there might be some monitoring visits happening. So I think that's something we really need to think of and not wait till the last minute for it to happen. The fourth one is, we talked about either trying to develop some new proposal. I know also this is a little bit, far-fetched, but, we discussed, do we, do something on CMAPs, or do we do something on integrated energy planning? And I think there's been enough workshops and work on the CMAP that I think we can focus on the sustainability of the project on the CMAPs, and maybe think of another proposal or something that connects to integrated energy planning. And there was the idea, and I think I'm going back to Dr. Farid's idea, the audiovisual material that provides training and learning material on the use of the CMAP. And I've just mentioned that, and I think it's worthwhile actually doing that as a separate objective. And then, is it the end? Encourage the use of CMAPs and partner country higher educational institutions across multiple disciplines and applications. And I think one important thing that not came out, but I think we all knew it, that, integrated energy planning was our thematic topic to actually begin to apply the CMAPs. And I think everyone in all the fields that are represented here, from engineering, mechanical, electrical, or then architecture, or then chemical, or land use, or architects, or whatever it is, I think everyone found a certain utility in different ways that can be really applied in their area. And I think that's, if there is something that can come out of this, is that strength, that it's multiple applications, that it's a platform that really can connect multiple disciplines. So, these are the 5-6 points that I think summarize what we've discussed last Wednesday. And, if you have any thoughts, any suggestions right now to really try, or do you prefer to circulate this across everyone and, return on comments, but from previous experience, this is going to take probably another 2 years to get. So honestly, I do prefer that if we take 10 minutes right now, just take a bit, read it a little bit, and if you really have, if it's a language issues, we can take care of that, but if you feel there's something fundamental there that doesn't work, or we are suggesting something too much to commit to, let us know. We can adjust all of this, and we can do it immediately right now.
I would suggest that the characterization that Federica tried to write down in the website should be discussed if we are
in agreement.
If we agree with, because they may be some major chapters of possible outputs.
So you're saying that because it was reorganized, yeah, right?
She organized. I haven't in mind how. But I remember that there are somehow like 6 main streams, 6 sections.
Yes.
If we recognize ourselves, if we find ourselves comfortably within these 6
points,
areas of thematic areas of research and action, we can try to disseminate within this
within
areas,
the website,
our different outputs. That is, we are 16 people, 18 groups, and 18 partners. We have some more confidentiality among people who speak the same language. I am speaking of landscape assessment or spatial planning, but we have chemistry, we have engineering, water supply, and energy systems. We have many different fields. So I suggest that we maybe even bilateral or trilateral. We are not all prompted to the same main purpose. These 6 purposes somehow reflect our different fields of interest and our previous work. So if we can add these 6 or 7 fields of interest and we try to convey our different initiatives within these
within the website
fields.
you're saying?
Yes.
So what you're saying?
These are some main purposes, but these purposes go through, they have been seen
The different disciplines, they go.
Yes, within different lenses, I think.
Okay, so you're suggesting that
There is
that these same lenses can be seen, these same
we
objectives.
can systematize somehow, characterize all these activities within their different streams.
Okay, so
maybe I am not sure about it.
But each one of them can go through this the 6 disciplines.
Yes.
So what you're suggesting is that maybe for each point you would have the contribution from different field.
Yes,
is this
maybe,
what you're saying?
yes.
Let's say the energy engineers would have.
Yes.
They would
yes, for instance,
on
I'm
the
only
website?
suggesting. I'm not sure of what I'm saying because I am only. I think we have to learn by doing.
Yeah.
So the better will be the most useful. The more useful we will be, the better.
Okay. I'm not sure I understand 100%, but. No, I understand the different streams and the different lenses, but
yes.
Is the suggestion to adjust the website to actually accommodate that, or take these 6 or 7 points and have sub-points based on the different disciplines, or exactly what Petra just did, add maybe something to that?
If I understand the work that was made by Federica, I think she tried to organize the website according to what the authority asks in terms of dissemination of open educational resources. Is that
actually, this was perhaps an effect, not the main intention. What I tried to do, what we tried to do, was mainly to make the process that the project went through visible through the website.
Okay.
We have performed training activities with staff, with the students, and it was a progression. I mean, we started from what is concept mapping, and we tried to, how can I say, to balance the work on the tool and the work on the contents. So what we tried to do was basically to make this process visible in the e-learning page, so that anybody else could go through the same process in a way.
So they can take the methodology and apply it.
Yes. So anyone could reply the ENEPLAN project somewhere else and go through the same steps that we went through. So this was the intention. Of course, perhaps if I understand what Anna said, all the materials that we can produce during the next 3 years can be somehow embedded into these sections in a way. We can choose where to put them to enrich.
Definitely.
We can also add sections, and we could make the transfer of our process more rich and more developed by embedding further contents inside.
So
that's
this is what point 3 says. Right?
Yes.
So you use the open source website as a platform to continue disseminating and documenting future activities related to the project. So
exactly.
I am, but an additional point.
Yes, you
So you're saying two different things.
Yes, we found out several recurrent keywords.
Yes.
Planning,
Energy efficiency.
Yes.
building design. Yes,
In the map.
I think these different ways of be cross-cutting in the big theme of the integrated energy planning should be reflected and conveyed within these boxes. They are different boxes. So we have to think of a sort of organization of these materials, and I would suggest if these 6, I don't remember your major chapters of your index.
Because actually they weren't thematic. They were like the
More
the
steps.
steps of the process.
Okay.
So, but the two things can go together.
Can go together.
I mean, we can, for example,
It was about the literature review you did, maybe, with
yes,
different...
it was because we did
Yes.
a collection of scientific
Yes.
papers. So perhaps if anybody wants to produce papers on the project topics, they can be added in that section.
In that section,
If
yes.
anybody wants to produce other thematic CMAPs, they can be uploaded in the thematic CMAPs session and linked to the main
Yes,
CMAP.
yes.
This is something that can be done, of course.
Okay,
So that it can be implemented in this way. So,
would
but,
that require a lot of work from you on the website, or it's just a matter of how do you upload the material and provide the links?
I think that we can arrange it in order not to make it big work. I mean, if it's just a matter of taking a thematic CMAP and uploading it on the website, I think it's no problem at all. If it is necessary to make other links on the larger CMAP, perhaps it could be more difficult. But then we also have the public CMAP cloud folder. So we can perhaps do it there because it's much more quick and leave the CMAP, the CMAP 2.1 on the website as it is, as a track of the path we've been through. So that is another.
Yes, of course, I think that this is the right way to do that. What we can do is to maybe that we can add a 7th section on the learning part and to put there further thematic maps that we could develop from now up to the end of life of the website, for example. And that thematic maps could be somehow separated. No?
So you're saying focusing more on the CMAP itself, not actually.
No.
Yeah.
In that section, the CMAP after the ENEPLAN.
Okay.
And then we can split, we can begin, if I understood well what Anna was saying, that we can restart from our differences. So after being interdisciplinary, we can try to put some I don't know, maybe like a map suitable for engineering students, maybe
different
so
from.
useful for a map, useful for chemistry.
Okay, but I mean, how do we produce that on the website? Because if you're gonna go with a lot of subcategories, you'll never finish.
I think that we at least we can have the 7th section.
Okay.
And put there.
So thematic, let's say
Maybe categorized by disciplines, by.
So thematic maps for landscape architects, thematic maps for, electrical engineers or whatever it is. Okay, so that could be an interesting thought. Okay, rather than sitting and actually reorganizing the whole website.
A single section, it's more easier to upload another item inside.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you, is ENEPLAN, does it have pages on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? Because all of these problems could be solved by a professional become public and you could post all of the concept maps and all of the YouTube.
Do we have a Facebook?
No.
No.
When we bought the project in 2014, social media work was not so common to be put in a project proposal.
I don't know.
If I can say something, just a comment.
But but may I just say something? I mean, how long does it take us to create a Facebook page? 1 minute? I mean, isn't that a good idea for us, like, to talk about sustainability of the project?
But who will manage it?
Sorry, Ricardo, we'll get back.
I have a position from person from DC. There were a question about using social media as a dissemination material. They said no. It's not the right way to use the social media for dissemination the results of the project.
No, but we're talking that.
You can use it just.
But we're talking about if other people do new activities. You know, I mean, the idea is not to disseminate whatever we have, but you know, whatever new that comes out, we can actually provide more sharing.
I disagree. Maybe he's saying about the confidentiality of certain material. You know, it requires discretion. But I disagree for the public users if they want to post research material.
No, but this is within the context. We are working under certain regulations that we need to abide with. This is what he is talking about. Yeah. So it's a little, I understand your point, and I think this is something we might consider. I don't know. You know, not to disseminate the actual results, but actually create, you know, maybe platforms for interaction. I don't know. This is what we call them for future activities.
Social media minute.
Yeah.
Who
is going to interact that?
Okay.
My experience, I mean, we are dealing with another project. The social networks are responsibility of one of the partners. They are very good. They are very active. It's very good. We are kind of paying for lives everywhere we go because people are not. In some countries, Facebook and things like that are not really used. Some for professional purposes.
Yeah.
It is an issue more than actually a solution. That's my.
Okay.
That's my
Okay, if I can say my comment.
I am sorry, Ricardo. My fault.
No, it's just a comment. It's just based on the amount of work we made during workshops, and we made a lot of workshops, a lot of exercises, a lot of discussions. I think that the final synthesis that it's now in the website was not easy at all. We have not to give it for granted. I think that Federica and the lead partner made a great effort to organize some few concepts to make them very clear and easily accessible by everyone, and I really appreciated their work and their effort in putting all the materials we produce together in such an easy way. No? So my comment, the first comment, is this one. We have not to forget that the project is ended, so we unfortunately we have to understand this. It's not life, it's just a project, so maybe there will be many others later. So I think when we define our website and its contents as open sources, we mean that they are open in the sense that they are accessible by everyone, and open in the sense that can be used by everyone in many different ways. So I think this must be the concept, and we achieved this goal based on the structure that currently has our website. In my opinion, the website is really cool. It's very, very well. Nice, very well made. And I will promote the website through our personal Facebook pages. At the University of Siena, our group has a Facebook page. We use it. We have a lot of followers. When we have to promote some initiatives or the activities or the materials we have in the website, we use it. Otherwise, we use other means, other tools. So I just suggest that everybody makes what he can do to promote the outcomes of the ENEPLAN project, since, especially because since now we have a clear and easily accessible output, and I'm really happy to have it, and I will promote it, and I hope that I will keep working on this website with students and other professionals in the next years. That's it. Thank you.
Has everyone seen the website? Does everyone know the website? You want us to go for 2 minutes after Flavio's?
This was just a comment.
If anybody hasn't checked the website, I think it's worth to go through. It's very well organized. It's easily accessible, very clear to anybody who doesn't know what the matter is. Systematic. I think it's perfect.
What's happening with the password users listing? We never use it.
No, we never use it.
Maybe we should just set it.
We are removing parts that were left, like.
Well, some things for finalization. Okay. Can I just ask one question? Can we make a hyperlink from it or a link, for instance, for the Just movie that they made for demonstrating how a tutorial for the cinema?
Of course. Yes.
Maybe
So
we have somewhere useful links.
Yeah.
So you can
Yes,
send to Federica, ask Federica, please could you connect to this website?
Because just already had the tutorial for CMAP, so we can link it for Qatar.
But I think let's put that as an objective. Whatever we have online already,
Yes.
let's connect it to the website, right?
I will try to send work. I will, after I go back home. I will send a reminder to all of you just to remember to send things, materials. Also news. What Yasser said. If you are starting a new course using CMAX or on energy planning,
Yeah, either way.
just to send 2 lines and put just yes, just the updating of the news is a way to keep the website alive, because an old news is a very sad thing to see in a website. So only this would be sufficient.
Yes, Flavia.
Just connected with what Federica was saying. Just in connection with what Frederick was saying. And also discussing about the Facebook. I don't know, I had another project, it's not an Erasmus, it's a research project. And we got a distinction at the EU level as the best disseminated project of that bench. And one of the reasons for that was that we had a very good person maintaining our Facebook page. So it's not for, how do I say, project deliverables, but it's more about communication, making news about the actions we were doing. So I know it was not one deliverable of this project, but if we managed to have someone maintaining a Facebook page, I think it would be quite good. The problem is that we need a person continuously feeding the Facebook.
You have to have somebody who is paid doing that.
Yeah, or otherwise some student as a volunteer or something like that. Yes, I know. It's not professional. Yeah.
I can assure you, yes, this is the right way to do things to disseminate widely your results. We at University of Petra, we do this. We have a website for the university. At the same time, we have a Facebook page, which is widely used by our students and by other users that connected to the university. So the people who are responsible for the Facebook page, usually they have a link or they make a link to a website page, and through the Facebook page, they publish it widely. So we can do this. We can even, and I want to remind everybody that at the beginning of the project, it was a request by the coordinator to add a website, each university website, a link about a small paragraph about the project and the link to the website. So also through this we can disseminate and link things.
It's doable. Each one can do that.
Yes, but I think it was, I mean, it was mandatory actually. So those who haven't done it so far, they should do that.
But it might not be a bad idea just periodically to click on the link and check to make sure that it's still working.
Yes, that is a good idea because sometimes there have been problems with the server. But yes, and also to ensure that there are accesses and visualization.
We also make sure that the ENEPLAN website opens from our website or any from the universities from the one.
Yeah.
These are very basic stuff that everyone can do.
From the website, from all Facebook accounts, from Twitter accounts, and everything.
Okay.
Please check. Check if it is linked on your institution website, please. Even because we need to indicate
that it's done.
the pages of the partner organization
Must be linked to the project website.
Okay. Yeah. Any other comments? Do you have anything else? Yes?
I think what he said that students could volunteer. Not only one student, many students could volunteer, like a student from AUB, student from the universities of Jordan, students from the universities of Italy. Like everybody could volunteer to make to publish.
In theory, it works. I mean, I'm a professor here. I followed up many, and I'm sure it's been some issues with others. But changing the students sometimes doesn't work. Different efficiencies. If there's really not much incentive, volunteering sometimes doesn't work. And that's a bit of a problem with the new generation. You need to give them this. A lot of them, you want to give them this so they actually do something. So we're all facing it. I mean, there's a big problem, big difference between 5 years, the generation from 5 years and today. So just saying, come and do this and volunteer, it's not going to work. It's not going to be consistent enough for us as a project that we want to continue.
Moreover, just a little comment on this.
Yeah.
Moreover, there is a problem also of the management of all this. I mean, there must be some kind of control on Facebook profile that is connected to the European project. I mean, it can't be completely free. There must be some guidelines for the contents.
So priority.
And it's all additional work to coordinate such a thing.
I think we need to wrap up. Before I let Anna close, do you want to close it or shall I close it?
We can close together.
But before we do that, are we okay with the comments and notes that we've put up there? Are we all in agreement with this?
Yes.
Okay, nothing, I mean, we'll fix the English and circulate, but in principle, everyone is okay with this. Okay, great.
The project is at its close, and we are really a big family. And to cut short the story long, the story must continue, keep continuing with our volunteering, if it's possible, and with our duties, because we are committed to for 3 years. So thank you.
Thank you.
For the interesting